A highly experienced navigator with tours of Iraq and Afghanistan, Nikki Thomas's initial duty as the RAF's first female commander of a bomber squadron was ceremonial, accepting the standard of 12 Squadron at a parade in the unit's new home of RAF Marham in Norfolk. Less than a year after it was disbanded, Number 12 has been reprieved after the government decided to continue operating 3 Tornado squadrons for at least another year. It means this summer Nikki expects to be leading her new command in missions against IS over Iraq.
From joining the Air Force, I found out today it was 15 years ago. I joined pretty much to the day. It's probably one of the proudest moments. I've sort of worked my way through and done all the jobs previously, the flight commander roles, the leadership roles at the lower ranks. And since promotion to wing commander, this has been it's got to be the dream. You've got to be in charge of people, which is the ultimate sort of accolade, and also lead them out in the frontline operations, which is again just an amazing experience. So it's great.
The parade was military musical chairs as 2 AC Squadron became 12 Squadron, while its designation passed to the 5th and final squadron of Typhoons forming at Lossiemouth.
Number 2 Squadron, the oldest fixed-wing aircraft squadron in the world and the most senior squadron in the Air Force. So it's definitely a chance to celebrate what they've done and all the sacrifices that people have made in their name. And as the Padre said inside, bless those who have served and who will serve. So for me, I think that's the most important thing. But then secondly, this is the transition from Tornado, 40 years of Tornado service, to Typhoon. And we tend to think of Typhoon as quite new, but we've had it in service for 10 years. But it's continuously evolving. And the fact that Number 2 Squadron is the last Typhoon Squadron to form and the 5th Frontline Squadron shows that 2 Squadron has a place in the future. There's a place for Shiny 2 throughout the Air Force's near history coming up.
The changes come into immediate effect as the force reshapes from Tornadoes to Typhoons and readies for the next generation of combat jet, the F-35. A ceremony to stand up 2 frontline fast jet squadrons is remarkable enough, but today's marked history with also the appointment, of course, of Nikki Thomas as the first woman in command of fast jets in the RAF. But both she and the service are at pains to point out that the real story is much wider, and she herself represents the way the service is evolving to face the challenges ahead in difficult times. So despite all this history and continuity, Wing Commander Thomas represents the future, not just of the RAF, but of all services, as they provide opportunities for the brightest and best across society. Jeff Mead, Forces News, RAF Marham.